Hello, the storytelling Ron. I've been kind of in and out of doing videos, but I'm gonna do I'm gonna build another. I'm gonna have fun building a apocalyptic adventure. I've done a few of these, but I'm gonna do it again. And I've been reading. I've got all these Mutant Crawl Classic ones. I did one video, and I'm planning on doing more of these videos of these at some point. I don't know. They're kind of they're neat, and you can actually use these in my game. And the conversion is very. I was surprised at how simple it was. I mean, I could do it off the top of my head looking at the stats. Very similar, hit points, bonuses to attack, damage of the weapons. It's all very similar to mine. They have the most of the attacks are their action rolls or using a D20, and then might have a D24 or whatever D30. But you can just add a die rank to mine. It's very very similar. So I was like, oh, even the hit points, and everything. And of course I use vitality or vigor. So very very. And what's funny is a lot of these have Christian type motifs in them that they have to avoid saying Jesus in them. But they had a monastery in it, one where they're all healers, and then another one it said, "May God forgive us for all this mutation stuff that we've done." 1,000 years ago, whatever. In the data file, they find that. So it's just kind of fun. So it's like almost like canon now that you can actually. I mean, think about it. You could be a Christian in this. And this is the exact same concept of mine. Pulses Apoc is 2200 AD. You come out of a Christian bunker because you were in a prison camp by the atheist empire, and who have gone off to this space. But you're here stuck on Earth, and you're coming out, and you're apostles of the Apoc, apocalypse. I mean, of the a post-apocalyptic, not the apocalypse. And so you're just going around finding survivors, helping villages, helping settlements, if that's the storyline. But you're converting them, and you're converting them and planting churches. And that's part, the traditional part of the gaming is there. The adventure, the fighting baddies or fighting monsters or fighting gonzo things. It's all radiation wasteland. But then we have our cake and get to eat it too. We get to eat our cake and have our cake or whatever the heck. We get both. We get the regular role-playing game just like any other. We don't want to murder Hobo, but that could happen if some of the baddies are so bad they just start attacking you and you have no choice. So that could happen. And as a Christian role-playing game, I want there to be mistakes. I want you to make mistakes and end up killing people, in the game, not in real life, in the game, because that really did happen. That really was part of missionary work and how tricky and I want us all to realize that when we constantly get criticized for Christians who did things in the past, it's like, okay, let me put you in that situation and see what happens, right? In this role-playing game. That's what's so wonderful about this, is that we sort of realize, we can't, we have to compromise. We have to do, we want our characters to survive. And, it's a wonderful game. I mean, I'm telling you, man, when you go evangelize in this game, it's fun, but it's also brings you back down to earth. This is boots on the ground Christian role-playing game, not angels and demons, not gods, or you're Jesus or a god, or you work on that some high magic level or something or otherworldly. This is like you're on earth and you're boots on the ground making mistakes as a Christian. You're going to evangelize and you're going to roll bad. You got to roll. You get bonuses if you do really good. The GM determines, but I love it. So if you, I don't know if you want to watch on my YouTube there, my actual plays, but I post them on there. No, I don't edit them. They're all eating food and we're just being goofballs, and just getting along and role playing and being Christians. We're free to be Christians. There's no LGBT thing. There's no being offended. I mean, actually, yeah, there is. We all could be offended in the game. We all know where we stand, so that's fine. I mean, yeah, if you would have an LGBT friendly game, I'm that's fine. I accept that. We have a Christian only game, only, not friendly, only. You got to be Christian in my games. So yeah, Okay, so I'm gonna do a fun thing here, which is what you can do with the post Apoc game here, and that is create a hex. This game is based off of you crawling from hex to hex. And these are all, by the way, those adventures I've kind of rolled out as well in previous things and put it in the book. But here, I just want to show you. Oh, this is where I got to be anyway. But so the game, in my view, this campaign for the post Apoc one is the GM and the players start off in the home hex, and then they got to go to each hex. And these are like 30 minutes travel if you were on a good road, which none of them are. So it takes you hours and hours to get through these areas. It's 100 years after the nuclear war or whatever. So you got to scout out the area, then go through, and each one has a rollout for what kind of a hex it is, what kind of terrain, because it's all random, and what's going on. So let's start. I'm literally just going to start a whole new fun one here. I need to take notes though. Let me just do it on my notepad, just because I'm gonna do it just for the fun of it, and then if it sticks with me, I'll make a little campaign PDF on it probably for free. Just put it on my website. But I'm gonna include the artwork if I do drawings. I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of playing this by ear. Let's roll. Let's start off with terrain hexes, a D6. Oh, I wonder if I should do this. There's a second version of this as well at the end of this, but I'll just do this one. Start this one again. I might do a little cheat here because you can certainly do that. 5, like cheat in the sense of like adding a little more. Okay, so I have a toxic wasteland. Excellent. Gonzo. Okay. See, so you can do gonzo crazy stuff. Toxic wasteland here. D6. Okay, so so in the toxic wasteland, you're gonna choose the I think it's this hex. Oh, I could draw a better one of that too, like in the future, added crazier looking, but whatever. Let me roll. Rolling beast stuff, use 3d6, keep the highest. Yeah, okay. Let me roll d6 again. Here we go. 6. Ooh. Ruins with radioactive dangers, high tech, and mutants. Wow. Actually, I want to cut and paste. I don't like writing on a piece of paper. Can I do that? I would have to open a Foundry, but that's okay. All right, number 6, ruins, radioactive dangers. Okay, so I'm gonna do radioactive dangers, like areas where they're just radioactive, high tech, and mutants. Ooh, I don't even know what to do. In a sense, okay. This is turning out to be fun. All right, let me go down to feature 2 rolls, d6 each. Okay, and let's just go. 2. Okay, 2. Add secondary beast. Okay. So first, there's going to be a first beast. It's going to be a mutant or something, and then there's going to be a secondary beast. Okay. In the area. That's cool. All right, second roll. 5. Unique site, increase salvage to +1 DR. Okay. Unique site. Wow, this is turning out to be pretty exciting. Unique site, +1 DR salvage. Or I could just add something even, more interesting or whatever. Okay, ruins with radio. Okay, so ruins means, well, I'm going to say it doesn't mean that it could trigger the Empire, which is sort of like an end game or, climactic buildup. I'll just say the ruins. You have to go to this one to trigger. Okay, I think. Okay, mutant world stuff. Extra features. Let's roll that. Roll a d4. If 1, then a d12. Okay, so a d4. 3, so nothing there. Okay, that's fine. Aggression table for beast and tribes. Oh, for beast. Okay. Let me roll for the beast, even though I haven't rolled out the beast yet. But it's a mutant, so I'm probably going to make it be pretty vicious. But I'm going to roll a d12 anyway, just to kind of, whoops, let me roll in. It's got to be in the... Oh, that one's 2. It tries to ignore or avoid heading away. Wow, okay. Ignores or avoids. Okay, I'm gonna rethink that, but I'll keep it there just for the, it depends on what kind of beast I roll up. And a 10. Watches, calls for help, follows a distance until reinforcements arrive if needed, waiting for a right moment to sabotage or attack. Okay. So this one hunts. But careful. Oh, gathers others. Okay. Now it could be the second beast could be a mutant. Let me decide that now. Let me roll encounter roll, which is tribal socioeconomic is obviously on the top right there. Is if I would have gotten people or whatever. So I don't know if I'm gonna do people or not. Because a mutant could be a people. Yeah. I have to decide that because I don't really have a differentiation there. You know, these are pretty generalized. I'm gonna go with the beasts. I mean, it's a toxic wasteland, so the mutants I think are gonna be bestial. Okay, let me roll an encounter roll, which is like, oops, stay in the one and okay, well, one. So one of these is gonna be there. Get in there. One. Whoa, bad weather. Okay. We're gonna have some sort of, I'm gonna say, yeah, the whole toxic thing. You know, toxic winds is gonna, oh, bad weather chart. Let me roll that. 5. Oh my gosh. Windy, very sandstorm or rain spurts or snow. -2 DR all around for stuff. GM use randomly to difficulty. So I'm gonna basically roll a D6. You know, 1 DR is D4, 2 DR is D6. So I'm gonna roll a D6 and then add that to whatever I think is the difficulties of something. Even like toxic stuff to them. So -2 DR. Yeah, toxic wind. Hoo. Or gas, you know, just foggy mist, you know. So that things are just going to be more and more difficult there. So that's going to be cool. Oh, toxic condition. Yeah, let me roll that one. D6. 1. Radiation spike or toxic spores in air. Resist or at minus. Okay, a 1 medicine reduces DR. Right. Roll per day. 1 per day. Okay. I definitely want that one. So I'm going to make it. I'm going to roll right now. Because I said 2 DR is the difficulties. And this one says, you know, prowess or spirit 12 resist. And prowess is strength and spirit is wisdom. Although I think mine are better terms. 3. So 15. So either a pro spirit 15 to resist, and I'll just have them roll that here and there based on what they're doing. 1 med reduces DR. Well, plus 1 DR to resist. To resist. Or to get a reroll once per day. So they can take medication. They can either take it right when they're about to get affected, or they can, if they've already gotten affected and they don't have medication, they go back to the transport and they can do it again with the medication to resist. But once per day. If they fail, then they're... And the penalty is based on what they fail by. So it's a 15. So if they roll, their total resist is a 10. So difference of 5. Half of that is 2, round down. So they're at -2 die ranks for anything they do. And the GM implements that, not them. Again, a D6. And I'm going to use that D6 on the defense of the creatures they fight. I'm going to use it on like whatever I say is the difficulty of their doing things, running around, or going searching, whatever it is. I'm going to add that to their. So it's going to impede them on their regular rolls. But again, I as a GM use it when I remember, and that's it. I use it at my convenience. If I forget, I just pass over it. So that's what makes their injuries. I like it because their injuries are injuries, but it doesn't impede them and their playing. I just get to add it to on my end. All right, let's go with the creatures that are going to be in this area as well. Okay, so man, some of these things are not. I'm not going to change the. I'm not. Oh, what are you doing? I just want to fit this on one line, but I'm not. Why isn't? Oh, there. I'm not going to change the books. It is what it is. Oh, that one's going to stay. Okay. All right. Creatures. I roll 3 dice 6 and keep the highest. Okay. Oh, I need to get 2 more die. Get one of each color. Here we go. 3 dice 6, and this is based on their attacks or whatever. 5. Tentacle plus grapple. If so, then bite attack. Okay. Or something to that effect. Tentacle and bite. So they don't get any extra attacks, this first creature. Oh, I need to roll. I'm sorry. First, I need to roll this. I'm sorry. First, I need to roll that 3d6 here. So I rolled a 5. Okay. Beast roll 2d6. Keep highest for attacks. Okay. So now I roll. Sorry. It's a beast. Okay. Not a critter. It's a beast. Now I roll 2d6. Keep the highest for the melee. Is that right? Let me make sure. I do that as opposed to... Okay. I'm going to say this overrides it. Rolling B stuff, use 3d6, keep highest. Critters, B6, 2d6. Oh. Yeah, it's a B. Yeah, I'm going to keep it the way it is. Okay, keep it the way it is. So it's already a beast, and I roll 3d6, keep the highest, which was a 5. So I didn't get more attacks, which I was hoping for. But I have a second beast, so let's go with the second beast. Here's the second beast. 5 again. Darn it. Another tentacle. If so, then bite attack. Okay. I'm going to force myself to stick with it. Tentacle and bite, tentacle and bite. Just to, I got to be creative. Okay, so I will come up with 2 different versions of something. And it could be a tentacle, it could be an arm, it could be a spider web, it could be whatever sort of grapples, attacks them, and then they get a bite. Okay. Type of critter, and the way my tentacles work, or grapple attack, is you roll, and you beat their counter. Like each has a grapple roll off, and you can add your weapon to that roll, and I will have a special bonus for their tentacle rolls. Whoever wins gets the grapple. That grapple then can be added to their next attack roll, either the attack or both, or split amongst the 2. The attack and the damage, or just the attack, whatever. And so that makes a grapple kind of scary, because if you really do win, you can then use it to hit on the next roll and grab and do damage. Whereas the other person will be at a penalty because they're stuck in the grapple. Right? Is that how that works? Let me go back and look, making sure I'm saying that right. Because it better be right. Or close enough anyway. Where's the grapple? Should be under combat. Man, it's only been 2 weeks since I've looked at this. Or 3 weeks maybe. Where's combat? Should be right here. Oh, it's at the beginning. Combat. Determining difficulty. Okay, combat. Here we are. Where's grapple? Grapple. Oh, here. Immediately roll off if both grappling. If one wants to escape, use aware. If they win, they can negate any grapple effect. Either may add their weapon skill plus any grappling skill or unique feature like a net or tentacle. The highest roll subtracts from lower and is halved. This die rank can be split, however, as vitality drain and as a penalty to the target's rolls. Okay, so that's what that is. Each turn is a new. Okay, so they could drain it they could actually tire the other person out, or make it so that they can't fight back. Because you're grappling them. Each turn is a new roll with previous penalties also given as a bonus to the winner, so they get that as well. So that's how a grapple works. It drains the other person, keeps them penalized, and then you can use it as a bonus to keep grappling, or if for creatures they're going to have an extra bite attack, which they're going to get the bonus for that as well. So that's how effective tentacles can be in this game. So don't get tentacled. Here's another thing I want to mention real quick. Goodman game Mutant Crawl Classic is a huge big book, right? But here's 2 things. It has all these mutations and all this list of things that players have, right? Whatever. I'm not gonna have the mutations, but you could have it for the mutants and creatures. But I have crafting, engineering, upgrading, rules for that they don't have. Or at least I don't think they have. I also have vehicle combat, and they don't. At least I didn't see any. They kind of make up stuff, but they don't have an actual mechanic for it that I can tell. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am. But I have actual and the vehicle comment. This is something I don't know about Star Wars or any other game, even Rollmaster, Sci-Fi, Space Master. I'm not really aware of this. Space Star kind of has it, but it's kind of crazy. Star Wars definitely does not have it, and I don't know about the other Traveler or whatever. But the players and the vehicles are in the same scale of fighting. The vehicles are more devastating, but same scale of fighting. So it's all the same. Everyone goes at the same time, whether you're in a vehicle or not. And you can interact with them in the vehicles and stuff. Okay, so what am I doing here? Okay, I'll go back to this, get to the beasts. I've got 2 tentacle beast things, but type of critter or beast. So let's roll that. D12, because the first one is going to be a fungal slime spores. Oh, okay. No wonder it ignores or avoids. It's a fungus. Ah, and the second one uses it to trap it. As the first one weakens and the second one comes up and attacks and whoa. Fungal beast. There we go. That's scary. All right, what's the second one? Don't roll a 1 again, please. 11. Avian, flying. Here we go. Okay. It doesn't. Let me re-roll and because it'll with that 1 through 10 because it'll 10 crustacean. Okay, flying crab thing. Flying crab thing. Just to give me a little more. Ooh. So instead of a tentacle and a bite, it's going to have a talon and a bite. Kind of a thing. So these guys are, scary. Oh, I'm almost thinking of the creatures in Pitch Black. Like that kind of maybe hunts, careful, gathers others, right? So we got the creatures figured out. We got a fungal creepy beast. That's easy to draw. Something creepy though. And it'll come out of the ground, like all of a sudden appear, and you're stuck on it and whatever. That's going to have like a major like grapple attack, right? And then its bite is going to be like acid, like dissolving you, or especially your gear. It's going to damage the gear. I'll make it that kind of scary. And then the bird flying creature is going to come out and attack you. And that's even going to be worse. So this Toxic Wasteland Gonzo has to be very has to really draw people in to go there. High tech, radioactive dangers, high tech mutants. Okay, so I need to roll. I'm going to roll. I go down to. I can add weapon upgraded. Okay, the one thing I'm going to focus on right now is figuring out what's there, right? And one thing I have here is a manual digipad or location. This is sort of a subject. What would be in that area that might be valuable? Is down here under salvage. And now this chart here isn't necessarily it's intended for the players to find things specifically. But I like to roll it as the sort of the theme of a base or a location. Another thing I could roll for that. I was thinking of something else. What was it? Do I have something else? Let me just roll it and kind of go from there. That's a D20. 19. Player's choice, any skill at +1 die rank training. All right, that's a data pad thing. All right, that's not helpful. I will reroll because I don't want, I don't have player's choice. 6. Laser weapons. Okay, laser weapons. Laser weapon. So, it's something where this could be a rumor, something that survivors tell them, something they've learned through. They could find this this could be triggered by them finding on their other salvage missions a map to a laser weapon factory. And of course I can see that the toxins from this have, and this could be +1 die rank laser weapons. And the laser weapons, by the way, are in the sci-fi book. I think there's one in here too. Let me see real quick. Laser weapons. I think we have one laser weapon in here. It's not available, I don't think. Where did I put the gear list? I don't think it is in the list though. They don't have any, right? They just have projectile stuff, gunpowdery stuff there. But I might have it on the. Oh, that scared me for a sec. The red. I thought the red was like something I forgot to fix. Well, I have it on the vehicle mounts, which should be very rare, but they're there. But let me see if I have a list of guns. And what makes this better than the handgun? It's just a little better, right? This could be a D10. This is AP2 versus AP1. I mean, the handgun still has crushing. So I make every little weapon just incrementally better than the last one. That's where it starts from, kind of a thing. I'm going to roll also. This is all salvage stuff, so I could roll in here for like what could be there, like they could have some rolls where they get a 1+1 die rank or something, but I might roll something. I'll probably just come up with something because laser weapons factory should have some cool stuff in it, right? And they'll find some cool weaponry if they can get in there. What else? I think that's really it. High tech, right? The laser weapon factory is high tech. Radioactive dangers, sure. Mutants, which is what those are. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I just gotta, I use my my assets, my map pieces, my modular map pieces, to create a map of the area that they got to explore. And I'll show you an example. These are all examples of that. Using the modular pieces, I put them together in a foundry. I mean, you can cut them out like paper. And then I'll draw out some creatures. So I'm going to draw out these creatures here. And, like this is a map of one area I did. There's another one here. I don't even know if I have a wasteland one in here somewhere. Bogland, which is not toxic, but still got plenty of creatures in it. But the wasteland, that's going to be creepy deepy. Do I even have a toxic? Well, there's one right here. Toxic Ruins of Jabbar. Toxic Zombie Town. I think this one is part of an empire hex, so probably in a ruins like this, like a generic ruins. But it just gives you some ideas for setting up something. Okay, and this is Zombie Town, so a lot of zombies in it. Okay, so that's how I do it. Next I'm gonna, draw out these creatures. I think that'd be kind of fun. That's a cool fungal beast, a fungus that just sits there and waits for you to walk on it. It's obviously going to be around the entranceway to. And then the birds are going to be flying, waiting, or hiding and waiting. Yeah. Okay. So that's how I put together, Apostles of the Apoc adventure that you can have. Or the UGMs can do for yourselves. And that's Apostles of the Apoc. It's a Christian role-playing game. And obviously in this adventure, there's no need for evangelism or church planting. But hey, you got to get weapons and stuff to deal with other things. And that's always, the game has plenty of draw for getting gear and weapons and upgrades and glory points. Yeah, so all right, in the game of life, everybody, roll holy dice.